I apologize for the hair.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to toss all formality out the window right now. Just moments ago, we had some amazing pictures from Sky of a tornado moving around. Paul Douglas is right over here right now to bring us up to date. Paul?
Okay, Paul. Yeah. Like at 16 extreme southern portions of Anoka County and northern Ramsey County. Here is the storm that is producing a tornado. This is all hail and very heavy rain. It appears the tornado is right about here in the vicinity of Brooklyn Park. Specifically, this would be in the Brooklyn Park.
This is an Enterprise radar
near Blaine, Spring Lake,
with an 80C colorizer.
Those are towns
this
in
is
the
long
immediate
before
path
next round
of this tornado. Do we have live video from Sky 11? Max Mesmer is our Sky 11 pilot, and he is currently up in the vicinity of Brooklyn Park. There was a reported touchdown saying just a few short moments ago. As you can see, there is the tornado. It is indeed on the ground. You can see debris being tossed up, and we want to go live to Max Mesmer.
Thousands of feet in the air. There are flash fires on all the high-tension wires. We're about 3/4 of a mile from the actual touchdown at this time. This is really spectacular.
Max, based on what you've seen, what do you estimate the damage to be in the Brooklyn Park area? I mean, obviously this is causing damage.
Another touchdown. I'm going to have to leave this area here. The debris is really...
You do not endanger yourself here.
Every time they lost the feed from Max, they would come back to me, and it was deer in the headlights.
Not the kind of thing where we're talking about a watch. This is obviously, as you saw, on the ground. Earlier, about 10-15 minutes ago, this is what the funnel looked like before it touched down. It developed right over Brooklyn Park in northeastern Hennepin County. Now, the prevailing winds are pretty much west to east. Now, listen to the inquisitive anger viewers living in southern Anoka and northern Ramsey County. Again, Brooklyn Center, Fridley, Mounds View, White Bear Lake, Coon Rapids, Centerville, Lino Lakes, all those towns, you should be taking cover immediately underneath the stairway. And your basement offers the greatest protection under some heavy furniture. And do we have the live video? Let's see if we can go back one more time. It is obviously on the ground right now, Paul.
You have to readjust the signal right now, and that's what's going on. What we're going to do right now is toss to a commercial break. When we come back...
For the love of God, don't go to a commercial.
Actually, right now,
we have another
coming up in 5 seconds. Max, as I said, as you heard Paul talking to him, Max himself, there's a new picture right there.
It would appear, if this is correct, that this is a tornado in the dying stage. But actually, it's still very dangerous.
Max, can you hear us, Max? Max? Max, Mr. Paul Majors in the studio. Can you hear us?
I think he has his hands full.
Yeah,
He's
he's
flying
having
right
problems.
It is most definitely on the ground. I would estimate, just looking at the video and the debris, that the winds are probably 200, 250 miles an hour.
That was way high.
Okay.
And that was not 35W either. One thing that became glaringly apparent, it's very difficult to get your bearings just looking at this video.
The picture just came up is the high-tension wires. Max was talking about the flash fires on high-tension lines, and that's what we saw as that picture first started.
We should reiterate again, Paul.
Don, the dynamics behind this?
County and northern Ramsey County, you are under the gun. There is the tornado right about there. This is the cell producing the tornado. Currently, Max is right about here. The cell is drifting to the...
I don't want to talk over you, but
go ahead.
But this tornado is undergoing what we call vortex breakdown. Part of the flow is laminar, and that's the skinny funnel. And then you see all those turbulent areas. That's the area that's not laminar, where this breakdown into a turbulent vortex is going on. And right down near the ground, as that vortex bubble gets close to the ground, you get extreme vertical velocity, pressure gradient down there. It's just huge. And things are generally just levitated straight up, and I think you'll see that. And some of the debris is lifted almost straight up.
Here's another picture up right now, Paul. Max is trying to, again, get in a position where he's in a safe position to give us a picture of this thing. What you're seeing here is the helicopter turning around, and obviously the camera operator. I have a question for you, Paul, before we go away and try and establish a picture again. How long can this thing remain up in the air? Will this thing travel over into Wisconsin?
Most
another picture
well,
coming in right now.
definitely on the ground, as you can see.
35W right there.
No.
To answer your question, Paul, these can last anywhere from 10 minutes to 2 hours. The average tornado in Minnesota lasts about 20 minutes or so. This looks like a much more dangerous tornado. This could easily go on for another 15, 20, maybe even 30 or 40 minutes. There you saw another high-tension wire being hit.
Now, I have a question. Did we have a warning up on the air about there are the flash lines right there, the high-tension lines flashing there?
We are not even under a watch, technically. There is a severe storm watch west of the cities.
How did this happen then?
Northeastern Hennepin County. That is a dangerous tornado on a scale.
Thank you, Paul.
F1 is F5, F5 being a catastrophic tornado, F1 being a minor tornado. That appears like that's an F2 or an F3, which would mean
You want
wind
them
speeds in
being an
excess of
F2.
225, 250 miles an hour. Obviously, if that comes through your neighborhood, it's going to produce total devastation.
The area right here, Paul, by the way, apparently I've just been told by our producer, is Brooklyn Park. This is about a half a mile away from the original touchdown site.
And Paul, there is a tornado warning up for eastern Hennepin.
No kidding.
450 law enforcement personnel reported a tornado on the ground in Brooklyn Center.
This hit the Springbrook Nature Center. It hit a park, and it was nearly stationary.
Mississippi
It
River.
moved at about 2 to 5 miles an
How long
hour.
has it been? Can you remember a tornado like this in our area at any time in the recent past?
Frankly, the last big one was the Fridley outbreak back in 1965, so it's almost like deja vu.
This is Fridley again, right here, right now. That's what you're looking at.
And for God's sakes, we have been accused in the media of overhyping things from
No.
situation. For God's sakes, get yourself to the basement if you live in southern Anoka or northern Ramsey County. It is a very dangerous tornado, as you can see. This is not just a little garden variety twister that touches down and lasts for 2 or 3 minutes. This is a killer tornado, and it is now moving extreme southern Anoka County. Again, towns in the path: Mounds View, White Bear Lake.
I was in shock.
Park, Island Lakes, Centerville. They are under the gun, and you should be moving to the basement immediately, underneath the stairwell, under a heavy piece of furniture. I have never seen anything like this, Paul.
Okay, it is an incredible sight to see. Thankfully, from what we've been able to see live here lately, it looks as though we've gone through...
I had visions of this thing hitting a neighborhood live during
Let's
5 o'clock.
There should be a building there, though, behind it. Doesn't that look like a building?
Let's keep Max a safe distance away from this thing. I'm a little worried about turbulence all around the
He's
tornado.
probably being quite judicious at this point about his location.
No, he wasn't.
About a half mile east of the Mississippi River.
At one point, Paul asks Max where he is.
Still most definitely on the ground.
Max says, I don't know. Hang on a second. And he brings the chopper down all the way to the ground and reads a street sign.
If you have to, turn off the TV set, go down into the basement, and please be very
I heard from the news director after that comment. Don't turn off the TV. God!
He assures us he is in a very safe position. He's a very skilled pilot, so if you're home worried about that, you can a little bit, but don't get it. Right. Mary Stuckey's in the newsroom. She's been making...